Hello, my name is Coach Sam Rines, head coach of basketball fighters, and I'm here to talk to you about recruiting. There's been some slight changes on how we see the game. My opinion may be different than some. I'm working for the coaches. I talk to a lot of coaches daily, and they tell me what they're looking for, and I help them find it. So today we're going to talk about how coaches are now starting to recruit players. And, there's a myth that a lot of coaches just recruit AAU. That's false. Hoop Group and other camps have done a great job of, promoting individual players. And, Under Armour has a camp, and Adidas has a camp in open period that helps guys find individual players, even though those players still play with teams. But AAU is different. AAU is not the same AAU back in the day when I had Kobe and Rip Hamilton, where coaches were allowed to come up and talk to you, and the court was crowded. Everybody standing together with the coaches. Now, as everybody separates, you don't talk to them, you don't see them, you're not around them. And with all the corruption in sports, that's actually a good thing. It's not a bad thing. So, in talking to a couple coaches, what I've realized is that coaches follow individual players and not teams. So it's important that whatever team you play on, that you have an important role for that team, where a coach can see you coming into his program and fulfilling that particular role in which you're good at. So if you're a point guard, you can't be the ninth man point guard getting a spot minutes and think you're going to go to a Division I school, no matter, even if you're playing on circuit or not. You still have to be a point guard that's going to be valuable. So they got to see you. So that means that minutes are important. Minutes are, excuse me, minutes are very important. Number two, if you say you're a shooter, you got to make shots. So guys that can score, guys that can get off shots, it doesn't mean you're a scorer. It doesn't mean you're a shooter. It just means that you're able to get off shots. Now, if you're scoring the ball against guys that can't play, and then all of a sudden you come on the AAU circuit or a camp, and then you can't perform the same game, then that's an issue. So it goes back to the word consistency. So you must be consistent at what you do. So whatever position you play, guard, forward, or wings, I'm not going to get too technical, but whatever position you play, you must be good at. Part two to this, if you look at AAU teams, you have tiers. So obviously the shoe companies are here because they bring the best players together. Then you have the companies that should have been shoe companies, but they're in a messed up area, or there's not enough good players for the shoe companies to invest in you. Then you're here, and then you have the mom and pop shops. So mom and pop shops, I hate to say it, but it's tough. It's a tough fight to the top, tough ladder to climb. You got to go to camps. You need people to promote you. You need coaches to figure out who you are, and you can't afford to waste time, because if you assume that a guy is going to just show up at a tournament and watch your game and think you're a good player, that's, chances are it's not going to happen. Normally, mom and pop shops, you're playing out of position, 6'2" forwards, 6'5" centers, which is okay for Division III and maybe even some Division IIs, depending on how good you are. Division I coaches normally don't sniff around there. They usually, they'll do like Elevate and Hoop Group, they leak the brackets, and even though Hoop Group has a lot of people in their brackets, they have an elite bracket. So don't just assume because I'm going to the Hoop Group tournaments, there's going to be a lot of coaches. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of coaches in the building, but they may not be watching your court or the teams you play against. So that's why they kind of separate the elite teams and the teams that coaches want to see, so they're not wasting their time, so to speak, watching bad basketball or mom and pop shops or, or guys they don't want to see. Been there, we had those kind of programs used. Even when we had, Kobe back in the day, it was like we had mom and pop players, and then we had great players, and we mixed them all together. And it was great for us because the mom and pop players got a chance to play in front of everybody else. But now with the shoe company circuit, that's the granddaddy of them all. That's the one. One-stop shop. Coaches can sit there all day. Scouts sit there all day. All the top scouts, they sit there and watch the games, and everybody want to know who you got on your team, from start to finish. But what we noticed last year, a lot of guys didn't get scholarships. So that 8th, 9th, and 10th spot on elite teams are starting to get snubbed a little bit because they're not getting the minutes. Because you got to win. You know, that's the whole thing. If you don't win, you don't get invited to Peach Jam or the big tournament or the gauntlet, whatever you play. But you got to win. It's all about winning. And in a way that's good because you see the best players. In a way it's bad because, you know, everybody doesn't get the same amount of time and some kids get snubbed and, you know, all of a sudden you're unhappy. Now you're looking to switch teams and it's too late because you got to play in a certain amount of games. And next thing you know, you get pushed to the side and now you have it where you don't have a scholarship because you left a team that you should have stayed on, or you know, you didn't get the minutes you thought you should have deserved, and or you played behind somebody that was really good, and all of a sudden your recruiting goes down, 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 down. All right, so with Basketball Finders, our job isn't to belittle you. Our job is to help enhance what we know you can do. But we can only go based on what we see. So you got to play in places. Now we go to Hoop Crew, we go to Elevate, we go to tournaments that we know all coach big shots. Big shots, et cetera, et cetera. There's a lot of places we go that we know most people don't go. And we look for the diamond in the rough. We look for the kid that's playing out of position. We look for the kid that just needs to break. And this is why we have a prep school too, in order to sell that product. What you got to do as a player, you got to look to take your game in front of people. Now, a great thing is highlight tapes. Highlight tapes is a great thing to happen to kids, and kids are editing, and I'm seeing guys edit great highlight tapes. But I've never seen a bad one yet. So if your numbers aren't put into your highlight tape, if I don't know what you average, let's say you average 6 points a game. Now you put 3 shots a game on your highlight tape, and you got 20 games in, you got 60 highlights. Let's do the math here. But what it boils down to is the highlight tape is not going to get you that $250,000 scholarship. Number one, you got to have grades. So you got to be qualified academically. You got to have a GPA. You got to have the SAT score, ACT score. Number two, your resume has to match. Your AAU resume has to match your high school resume. Your high school resume has to match your AAU resume. And that's important. Because when you're trying to sell a player to an alumni, you can't have a player that average 6 points in high school and think that's going to be a good sell. Mess around and get fired. Because he done picked up an AAU guy that scored hot one game and you made 10 threes, but then you only average 6 points in high school. That's not going to work. And then I don't know too many college coaches recruit role players. So if you don't start on your high school team, unless you're at this elite high school, most guys don't talk about the guys coming off the bench on elite high schools. They talk about the guys that get the playing time. And, sometimes the lower level schools will go after that 6th or 7th, 8th man. And then all of a sudden, man, you're looking at Division II. And let's keep it real. Division II guys want Division I players. So if you look at your game, you have to put yourself in great situations all the time. And this is why we host these combines, man. You got to come to one. Come to one of my combines and you see what we do. www.basketballfinders.com. Check it out.